Whatever path you are on, whatever inspired you to come here today, we honor you and we welcome you. And now, our message.
And to settle into your chairs. Take a deep breath. Closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And using your imagination to imagine some of the words from that song. Nothing to kill or die for. People with plenty to eat. Relationships that work. Lives that are joyful and calm and peaceful. Health, plenty to eat, plenty to spend, if that's what you choose. And knowing with me right now that this universe is a land or a universe of an energy, a creative energy of plenty, of joy, of healing, of giving, of peace, of love. And then we invoke that energy here in this space this morning. That's what we honor in terms of this teaching that we call science of mind or metaphysics. Beyond the physical, knowing that that energy is there, knowing that we can tap into it and use it, and being grateful for that. Knowing that we have the power by means of our choosing, our thoughts, our words, our actions, to create what we desire. So we honor that power. We're grateful for that power that always says yes to us. No matter what we're saying or thinking, it says yes. So we choose things that we desire, that we want. And that power says yes. And we say, thank you very much. And so it is.
So it is.
Well. Turning myself on.
I do that every day.
My own. Test. No.
It was for a second.
Okay, hold on a second. Sorry. Okay. Are we on?
Yes. That sounds
Okay.
perfect.
Hello again and good morning. My name is Reverend Ali Benjamin. The theme for November is spiritual partnership. And all month long we've been looking at ways we're in partnership with our life. We've looked at how we're in partnership with our health, our body, our physical health, how we're in partnership with those around us, our friends, our family, how we're in partnership with what we do in the world, our work, our hobbies. And today we're going to go down that path a little further, and I'm going to be talking about what our relationship is with wealth, with opulence, with abundance, with prosperity. And I love that word wealthful. And so before I get on to the 5 keys to an opulent life, which is the name of my talk today, I had to line it up with Dr. Pam's wonderful Winter Opulence event. So 5 keys to an opulent life is the name of my talk. I thought, what do we teach here at the center? What's one of the main things that we teach here? And it's that we can manifest or create the life that we want. We can use our powers of our thoughts and our words and our actions to attract to us a life that really makes sense. And so I heard one of our congregations say, make a request. And I thought, okay, well, I know that when we make a clear enough request that the universe just says yes, like Claire was just saying. We make a clear enough request, and we think in a certain way and act in a certain way, and then that request, the universe, then magically sort of becomes the answer to what we desire. And it happens through people and through situations and creating the energetic within yourself that will attract those things. And so I've been, I heard Lyle say this. He said that he wanted to have a pie at the Winter Opulence event. He really wanted pie. And he was just going on and on. He didn't care if it was apple or pecan or pumpkin or anything like that. So I'm a bit of a control freak. So I said to Pam, have we got any pies showing up for the auction? She said, no pies. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what can I do to make sure that the universe says yes to Lyle? And so I just
I can go now.
I like how he shares.
Here's a spoon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
Lyle's blushing now.
He is. So the 5 keys to an opulent life. Now, I've based all of my talks this month on a book called Spiritual Partnership by Gary Zukav. Accessing authentic power. And this is an amazing book. Has anyone read Gary Zukav? He wrote a book called The Seat of the Soul, maybe 25 years ago, and he's been featured on the Oprah Winfrey Show over 30 times. He's an amazing metaphysician and spiritual leader currently. And he's in this book, he's got 5 components to accessing authentic power versus external power. So these 5 things that I have sort of switched around and developed as the 5 keys to an opulent life are commitment, courage, compassion, conscious communications, and conscious actions. So those are the 5 keys that I'm going to be talking about today. 5 keys to an opulent life. So what is opulence? Opulence is, on the material level, it sounds like it's physical wealth. It's stuff. It's all those things, the cars and the houses and the fine clothes and the perfumes and the stacks of money. But that's not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about wealth and opulence. I'm talking about spiritual wealth. Spiritual wealth versus external wealth. And what is it to be wealthy? And on a metaphysical level, metaphysically speaking, I'd say wealth is well-being. Is a deep sense of well-being, liberation, abundance, love. It's all those qualities that we place on the divine. Beauty, joy, creativity, kindness, love. That's true wealth, wouldn't you say? Who saw the movie Dances with Wolves? Is that the name of it? Dances with Wolves. Well, there was the medicine man, I think his name was Kicking Bird or something like that. And when the tribe was discussing the upcoming battles that were coming, he said the white man is poor, impoverished. And he wasn't talking about poor in power or in intelligence or in weaponry and technology. He was talking about spiritually poor, spiritually impoverished. didn't seem to understand the interconnectedness of life, the interdependence of life, and that waging war on other beings, other human beings, is truly a sign of not being spiritually wealthy, being ignorant of the fact that we're all one. Imagine, we're all one. So that's the kind of wealth I'm talking about. Cultivating this authentic power within ourselves based on our spiritual wealth. So the first key being commitment. The key to an opulent life of well-being, of love and harmony, is making a commitment, a real commitment to yourself and your spiritual path. And being willing to stay in the fire. Because being on your spiritual path isn't always easy. When we raise our hand to being on the spiritual path, you may manifest in your life all those things that need to be healed. Has anyone experienced that?
Yes.
So it's not an easy path. That reminds me of that saying. Once you wake up, it's hard to go back to sheep. So we put our hands up for being on the spiritual path, and then it seems like all that stuff gets brought up for us to heal. And it takes a commitment to have the courage to face that. Because if we have unresolved issues, if we have low self-worth, if we have things in our lives that we don't like, they will come up to be looked at. And it takes a strong commitment. So merely being interested in being spiritual won't really cut it. Being committed to being spiritual, there's a shift there. It isn't mere interest, it's a deep commitment. It's a deep saying yes to yourself and to why you're here. So really, the very beginning steps of these 5 keys to an opulent life are, number 1, looking at who am I? And in his book, Dr. Ernest Holmes, in the Science of Mind textbook, he starts off at the beginning with the introduction about this very thing. Who am I? And how does the universe work? Who are you? You are a unique, one-of-a-kind, individualized expression of the divine. You are part of this one amazing system. We call it life. We're all a part of it. There's no boundaries and borders. It was like John Lennon was singing about. Imagine if we woke up and realized every thought we think, every action that we take, it affects everything. Just as every thought you think and every action you take affects you and your physical body and your body and the body of your life, everything we do as a collective, our humanity, everything we think of affects everything else. So understanding that, and then understanding that there's this physical reality, that us included, and then there's the things that we don't see, the metaphysical, what's beyond the physical. And we're talking about the laws of the universe. This universe is a system, a physical and an invisible. And it's always responding to us. Just like when you think in your own mind, you think an embarrassing thought, and your cheeks go red. We just saw that with mine. What we think about, the universe responds to us. Not just in our own body, but the body of our life. So when we think positive, life-affirming thoughts, when we think about joy and happiness and creativity, the universe seems to reflect that back to us. Because we're energetic beings and everything is energy. So we make a commitment to stay on that path of using our mind, using our thoughts for creation, for the creation of love, for the creation of beauty. So we make a commitment to understanding what our life purpose is. Why are you here? What are you committed to? Some people take their whole lives to wonder what it is, and I think it's so much easier, it's so much simpler than we make it out to be. What are you committed to? What do you find brings you the most alive in your life? Is it beauty? Are you here to be an artist? Are you here to sing, to sculpt, to paint? Are you here for joy? Are you here to bring greater sense of happiness and joy into the world by what you share? Are you a peacekeeper? Are you here for happiness? What are you here for? What is your purpose? It could be one word, it could be two. Are you here to bring wisdom and light? Are you here to be a teacher? When you align with what it is you're here to do, your authentic purpose, you'll be able to hold up that purpose with every decision that you make, every choice you take. Does this promote my purpose? For me, it's light and love. I'm here to share with others inspiration, to bring light into the world, and to open up hearts so that we can create loving community. Through everything I do, I put that, does this promote more light and love in my world? And if it doesn't, I have to be brave enough. I have to have the courage, which is another of the keys, the courage to say no sometimes. If I know it's not going to allow me to bring more love and light into the world. And that takes courage sometimes to say no. But when we say yes, when we mean no, is usually an indication that we're trying to please someone else and live someone else's purpose. But we're all here to live our own purpose. So that always backfires. So commitment, courage, compassion. Another key to an opulent life, a spiritually rich life, is compassion. So what is compassion? Compassion, I look at it this way. Compassion is unconditional love, loving unconditionally. I don't put conditions. If you act in a certain way or do something that is outside of what I think you should be doing or shouldn't be doing, I close off my love. No, it's unconditional love. You love people just as they are. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. What if nothing was wrong? What if we had that mindset that nobody's wrong, nothing's wrong, everyone's just helping us find that deep sense of love within ourselves to shine that forth more abundantly. So compassion, unconditional love. Another aspect of compassion is non-judgment. Non-judgment. That's tougher though. Tougher. Just allowing things to be, people to be, and minding our own business. Because that's where we have the most power. That's how we access authentic power. When we're in other people's business, we're seeking external power. You know, I'll feel better if only they would do this. We find internal power, authentic power, when we stay in our own business and don't find excuses or make other people responsible for us dimming our own light, love light. Sounds easy? So compassion. And the most important part of compassion, I think, for us in our Western culture is self-compassion. Loving ourselves first. We have to love ourselves first before we can attract authentic love on the outside. And then the final key, the fifth key, is conscious communications and actions. And so how do we have conscious communications? Well, it's by living those first four keys. But it's really about developing a relationship with your inner wisdom. Learning how to listen to that internal guidance system. The wisdom you have within yourself. That still small voice within. The spirit within you, your authentic self. And when you're really engaged, when you're really tuned in to that authentic voice, the voice of God within yourself, you're able to communicate clearly. You're listening to that intuition. So I'd like to do just a little meditation to sort of activate these 5 keys. Sound good? Okay, so if you would, please close your eyes. Take a breath. And become aware of that internal guidance deep within yourself, within your heart. And allowing your mind to become aligned with your heart. Loving, creative, joyful, happy, strong, creative. And to ask yourself, what is my purpose for being on this planet? Why am I here? We ask and we listen. And allow that inner voice to answer the question, why am I here? What must I let go of to achieve this high purpose? We may have some baggage that we're ready to let go of now. We ask and we listen. What am I ready to let go of now? What is hindering love's full expression as me? Listen. Who must I become to live this life of purpose? Each one of us is an evolving being. Who must I become? What changes need to happen in me? Who must I become? We ask, we listen. What must I embrace to achieve this high purpose? And for most of us, it could just be a simple word, a quality of spirit, such as love, joy, peace, abundance, wholeness, life, harmony, beauty, light, wisdom. What quality must I embrace to achieve this high purpose? We ask and we listen. We make a commitment to shining our authentic light. We activate the courage within us. We move from merely being interested to being committed. Having the courage to be you. Be you to the very fullest. Beautiful. Compassion. conscious communications, conscious actions. We think in a certain way, we act in a certain way that align with our hearts and our thoughts, and we live a congruent, enlivened, vital, loving life. So let's take a breath. And I close in prayer. And I speak in the first person. And if my words align with you, with your heart, then they're your words too. So I simply go within to that place that is so, so dear and so, so close. It is that one life, that one love, that one spirit, the divinity within me that I see and feel within every being, within every sentient being. And as I align with this one life, this one power, this one emerging spirit, I realize that I am a center of consciousness for the divine life to flow. So I open up and I see that I am here for love, to serve humanity, to be a beneficial presence on this planet. And I commit to doing this. And I know that I have within me everything that is required to be my authentic self, to be the very best I can be, to show up as the presence of love, even in the face of difficulty, even in the face of things not going the way my ego would prefer them to go. I stay in my power and my light. I know that this authentic power that is who and what I truly am is bubbling up right now as I speak, is being activated in each and every cell of my being. New neural pathways inside of my brain are beginning to think in a more positive way, life-affirming way, a creative way, an innovative way. I feel it happening within me now. And I know that thoughts become things. So I commit to thinking this way throughout this week, knowing that life is happening for me, not to me. I take responsibility for what shows up in my life and I say, yes, thank you. More please, even better. Thank you for every opportunity that I have to learn and grow and know how to shine my light more authentically. Life is good, and I am blessed, and I am a blessing as I commit to myself, as I say yes, and I move from being merely interested to being all in. And I realize this transformative power of yes is starting to vibrate in me, lift up my energy, guide me, direct me. This is authentic power. This is true spiritual partnership. This is co-creating at its finest. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I cultivate this atmosphere of gratitude, knowing that gratitude is the most magnetic energy in the universe. So I say thank you for what's coming my way. Thank you because it's already here in consciousness. Thank you. And I watch, and I listen, and I say thank you. And let us say together. And
So it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence today and being a part of the Satya Center. You're invited to join Reverend Ali and Reverend Lyle each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for your dose of connection, inspiration, and co-creation. The Satya Center is located at 795 24th Street, Ogden, Utah. For directions, a map, and our service times, please see our website, thesatyacenter.org. This program was brought to you by the kind donations from the members of the Satya Center. Thank you.